Hello and welcome, guys, to Sonic the Hedgehog, and today we're going to have a great bullshit debunking time again. We gotta talk about these electricity saving boxes, as they claim, and they claim that they should save you energy. Let's read their claim. So, description: the function of stabilizing voltage makes it possible to reduce power consumption and extend the life of household appliances. Wow, such a poetic sense. That Chinese man really have that wrote this. Anyways, the function of stabilizing voltage. Yes, I get it. It sort of stabilizes the voltage somehow, and then like it saves electricity. First of all, there's two ways of stabilizing voltage. First one is using a full bridge rectifier in order to stabilize using a full bridge rectifier in order to stabilize the voltage to DC. So that's basically rectification. And second is that you use a really complicated, basically a second power supply which then stabilizes it, but by the circuit I drawn out here, isn't basically true. So, and extend life of household appliances, that won't kind of help because, your appliances have a limited lifespan and they will always break. And they also, some washing machines and cars these days contain something called the fucker, and it's literally called the fucker. And what it does is after a time it breaks, it deliberately breaks, or basically stops the car from working, or the washing machine, and you have to replace its parts or replace it entirely. That's what they call a fucker in industry. So a little side note. Let's cut back to the chase. Reliable and useful features enable it to work continuously throughout the day in any climate. What features? The listing name is Plug Power Save Energy Smart Saver Smart Electricity Saving Box Automatic Smart. Yes, 176 CZK. Check grounds. Or that should be, let me convert it. Give me a little while, I'll just convert it over to, 176.42. That's around 8.2 US dollars. So yeah. 4 people sold it, there is still one left. Oh my god, go ahead, buy it. Go ahead, buy it. No, it's real just bullshit. Look how much there is of these. That's... that's just horrible. So what features? This thing definitely is waterproof. If you would get water into there's mains voltage in there, 230 volts, man, that would hurt. Alright. I live in Czech Republic, in Europe, in the middle of Europe, so we use 230 volts, 50 hertz. And not those pesky Americans which use 120 volts, 60 hertz. Oh wow, America is such an eccentric country. Enough distractions. Let's get back to it. 3 plug types allow you to choose the most suitable one according to your needs. Sure, I see you've got American plug. I see you've got an American plug, a United Kingdom plug, and a Europe plug. Or should I say. The function of saving current capacity makes it possible to comprehensively improve the using power of household appliances and avoid ineffective power consumption. Alright, so saving current capacity. This word reveals what's actually inside, and we shall talk about that later. I have one right here to torn apart. We shall see. I've drawn the circuit out here, so we shall see. I basically took one apart, ordered it from this listing, took it apart, and drawn the circuit out in that program right there. So we shall have a look at that. So makes it sure, but just to understand this, let me go into the circuit schematic. So you see the schematic of the circuit right here. In the circuit we found the live in, and this is actually the live neutral switch. So you got live in. No, this is actually upside down, sorry. I drawn it upside down. This is live and this is neutral. So live goes in, again goes through a switch, and it goes through a fuse, and then into a capacitor with a discharge resistor across it. Now, The capacitor is a big plastic box with wires coming out of it inside, and I thought originally, well, the circuitry might be potted in it, but like two wires, man, that would be only power. And second, it could be just two loose bars dangling there, but it turns out it's a 10 microfarad capacitor. Next of all, it had a 1K discharge resistor on the board across it, and then the other thing was just a rectification diode, a resistor, and a LED to make it light up, and that's it. So the main point here, oh my god, I'm putting a wire in here. So the main thing that is actually the main, which takes up most of the size of the product here, is this capacitor right here. This thing right here, this one which is highlighted now, that's it. That's that. So yeah. So how does a capacitor save current, you ask? Well, they are relying on your if I'm going to take this how like the good way and not the bad way and say that that is just crap shitty bullshit, and if I'm going to explain it, they are relying on your appliance that you are using this in that you tie this in with the appliance that you're using that you're tying this with must be drawing some apparent power or some reactive power, some apparent power in order to work. And you need to understand the power factor. And power factor is how good, how it basically tells you how does your appliance draw the current. Let me show you. So power factor. So power factor right here. So I'm going to show you. So power factor. Easy explanation. So this is take the beer analogy. So this big pint of beer is all the power. So that's the demand power you're drawing. The beer is the useful power which you're going to use, and then the foam on top is the wasted power. And how do you calculate power factor? Power factor is corrected useful power divided by wasted power divided by useful power, or apparent power divided by real power. And to make a device, well, basically they are relying on, like, power factor correction is real, as you see here, and by putting a capacitor, which you can see inside the product, oh no, which you can see inside the product, there is a capacitor. There's a big old 10 microfarad motor start capacitor. You see here that capacitor is getting rid of most of this wasted power line, and thus reducing the ineffective power draw, meaning that the device will cost less to draw. But back in the day, it wasn't such a great deal, because you were using normal like electricity meters, which were just a coil turning a rotor, and that was actually measured on a real power. But now with those newfangled electronic ones, the issue starts that actually there's a problem that one day I will draw it out here. One day the electricity company, for example in Czech Republic České energetické závody, neboli Czech energetic systems, should I say. So they have a computer and they have little windows here, and that's your meters, and one day they could go ahead and click and they will suddenly change it. They will change it from measuring real power to measuring apparent power, and the problem will be that from that point you will be paying more for your electronic devices. So this is power factor. So power factor correction is real, and if you got, for example, a big sloppy motor connected to the mains and putting and it draws like horrible amounts of current. It's like how they advertise these. It literally, the current draw is so horrible that the power factor is 0.1 or 0.05. That's one of the worst power factors you can even get. Basically 1,000 of 1, I believe, is the worst power factor, periodic as well. If you have a periodic 1,000 of 1 power factor, that means basically that your product is straight up trash and doesn't draw any real power and just wastes all of its power and doesn't do anything. Like a resistor, for example. or a capacitor, or just an inductor. Anyways, that was actually kind of bit of a lie, because a resistor draws real power, only real power, resistive load. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm not going to explain you the types of loads here, because they will take insane amounts of times. Anyways, so by connecting the capacitor right next to the motor, you will make it suddenly better. And the same thing, if you connect an inductor to a capacitor, it will make the power factor marginally better. And power factor correction can be as complicated as power factor correction systems and integrated circuits, meaning that they will actually have a special boost converter in order to rectify the voltage and boost it up to 400 volts, and that will save the power a lot. So yes, that's bullshit, because you have to be drawing quite a bad power factor in order to make use of it. And in like factories, it would make sense, because they would have a lot of power factor correction capacitors there. Because like, you know, they have a large amount of motors, so that would, you know, make sense. But in a household, where most household appliances now use like power factor correction and have power factor correction inbuilt, it just doesn't make sense. Made of plastic material, is very durable to use. I ordered this, and it arrived, and I dropped it on the ground, and it fell apart. And by the way, these two lights shine at the same time. So that isn't something, it's just trying to look like it's doing something fancy. The length of the plug is 11.5 centimeter. Who is interested in the length of plug? As long as it works, and as long as you plug it into the outlet and it lights up, everything's okay. Like, to most people, it doesn't matter that it isn't doing anything, that they just wasted money, but the main thing is that they plug in. Normal people, I'm like a electronic mad lad, and this stuff kind of means something to me, but normal people, which don't understand electronics much, just don't care about this. It's suitable for home, office, indoor electrical appliances, and so on. Yes, as long as, well, the problem stays that, again, getting back to power factor, if the appliance that you are connecting this to might have, let's for example say it has power factor correction inbuilt, and it has one of those newfangled boost converter circuits to do that, or current stabilizing power factor correction, if you want a more specific term. Anyways, the problem there is that it will make the power factor worse. And I'm saying worse, because connecting a capacitor to a unity power factor will raise it about 0.4 periodic, so it will equate 0.6, which is quite a bad power factor to say the least. Even 0.85 is considered a terrible power factor these days. So yeah. Name: electrical energy saver, material plastic, color, civil color, rated voltage 90 to 230 volts. It will work in any voltage, because it's got a fucking capacitor in it. It's only a fucking capacitor with a switch and a diode, and that's it. It will work at any voltage, at any frequency. Rated frequency is 50 60 hertz plug. I don't know, type UK plug. Why you just, okay, that's kind of stupid, because you said like you have 3 types of plugs. There you go, 3 plug types, and then you say like only UK plug, and then you have like the free plug type thing like in the actual thumbnail picture, but then you say only, but then you also say like here, but then you here say UK plug. Doesn't matter. Features: long working time. I would actually trust that, because like a capacitor, there's nothing to fail on that. Simple operation, stabilized voltage. Since when a motor start capacitor stabilizes voltage? Bullshit. Simple operation, yes, just plug it in and it magically saves electricity. Electricity savers are a thing. There are really complex circuits to do that, but they just decrease the voltage a little bit. But it doesn't kind of make sense, because then the appliances have to run longer in order to reach their working goal, and thus will draw the same amount of power. So it kind of doesn't work that way. So it kind of doesn't work that way, just a wee tiny bit. You just plug it in and a stupid dingus LED here lights up, and that's all that happens. Yeah. Package includes electrical saver user manual. You don't need a user manual if you just plug it in. Notes. Due to light and screen setting difference, the item's color may be slightly different from the pictures. Please allow slight dimension difference due to different measurement. Oh my god. This is annoying. Like they write some bullshit. Let's have a look at some more. No, has it saved? Wait, has my circuit saved? Nope, the circuit is deleted. Doesn't matter. You'll get these more fancier ones, which, by the way, this display doesn't do anything fancy. As it turns out, this display is just a voltage readout, or display some woo-woo number. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It might display, it might be a bomb, it might get countdown, and it might explode in a Nippon cargo plane in a Boeing 747, for example. Possibly a voltage readout. Example like these, kind of nice looking, but they're actually bullshit. Yeah, these timers, electricity saver. I have to look at this. There's oh my god. I don't know what I'm getting. If I'm getting a APC search, if I'm getting an APC search protected outlet set, or a plug-in timer socket set. That listing is quite scammy. Yep, again, voltage readout, as I said. I think that probably all of these just come out of the same Wang Han Lo Chinese kitchen for making these pieces of crap. I still get this. Oh, there's more. Let me just scroll through this. There you go. This is another timer plug with electricity saver. 30 minutes. Timer, that could be useful. Electricity saver. 700 CZK. That's quite a lot, actually, for such a piece of crap. Sorry for using our Czech currency. It's just how it turns out. I live in Czech Republic, and it's our beloved standard. Yep. Ty vole, já už z toho nemůžu. No. Okay. Okay, so let me end it right here.